So a lot of problems today technically with cameras and mics, but we're here. So today we're doing a full body dumbbell set of exercises for the chest, back, and then we'll do some legs and shoulders too. If we haven't met, my name is Greg. I have a degree in exercise science and I'm here to help. So we're going to be doing a follow along workout together. I'll show you what we're doing and then we'll do the exercises together. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. And I'd love to answer questions, help you guys out. So what we're going to start with is exercises for the chest and back, or chest and upper back. So we're going to start out with a warm-up. So what I do for this is grab a lighter dumbbell than you would normally bench press with. We're going to start with a bench press for the chest using dumbbells. So a dumbbell bench press. So for this one, you're going to bring your hands down, keeping your elbows in line with your hands, and bring the dumbbells as low as you can to where they sort of touch the inner part of your chest, and then back up. So keeping those hands wide. Hang on a moment. I can feel that mic is digging into my neck. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So we're gonna go with a lighter weight to warm up. If you have any questions, let me know, especially right now before we get into it. So you're going to the outside of your chest and then back out in front of your shoulder. So you're creating that tension in the pectoral muscles, those chest muscles. And that's what's going to get you a unbelievable stretch, which is going to lead to hypertrophy or muscle size increase, or a muscle size increase. That stretch feeling is what causes that muscle to start to grow. That muscle tension, or one of the big things though. So we're doing about 10 to 12 of these just to get warmed up, get some blood flowing into the muscle. So this should not be especially difficult. You should just feel the muscle engaging a little bit, but not really fatiguing at this point. The number doesn't matter a huge amount. We're just getting some blood flow into the muscle. Now you can set one of the dumbbells down. And for our second exercise, we're going to do these exercises in pairs. So our second exercise in this pair is going to be a standing supported row. I'm going to move my bench just a moment. Let's just get this out of the way. So for the standing supported row, you're going to go to a wall or a post, anything that's solid. If you just put your hand against a wall, that'll work just fine. And you're going to lean forward. So this hand is just giving you some support. And this is our working side. So we're going to work one side at a time. You're going to let your arm hang completely down. And from here, you're going to pull up to your rib cage. Now I'm not letting my hand go completely vertical or completely horizontal. I'm right sort of in between, just pulling comfortably up to my rib cage. This is called a standing supported row. I like this variation because it's easier on your back. So especially if you have sciatic pain or any low back pain, it's a lot less stress on your back as you're doing it because you've got this upper hand to support you, to take all that pressure off the upper back. And doing about 10 reps of those, and then 10 on the other side. So letting this arm hang, pulling up to the back. Now we're just doing 10 for a warm up, just getting some blood flow into the muscle. Next, we're going to be doing a heavier weight. So have a heavier dumbbell ready to go. We're using this as a warm-up, getting that movement pattern down. You should feel this in your upper back. We're working those lats and traps, and then some of the bicep. All right. I know for me, there was one time I was doing a deadlift. I was bending down like this, and I slightly moved weird on my lower back, and I felt a pop. Took me out for a good week of not working out. That's one of the reasons I like this, is it protects your low back, so you don't have to worry about low back pain, because nothing kills your workout like low back pain. Just grabbing a quick sip of water. All right, so now we're gonna go into our first working set, which just means we're grabbing our weight that's the heaviest we can do. So for this, it doesn't really matter how many reps you get. We're going not for a rep number, but for a feeling in the muscle. You should feel that fatigue in the muscle. It might feel like a burning feeling, or just a really tired feeling where you can't keep pushing the weight back up at the same speed. We're starting to slow down. That's what we're looking for. So it's not about a particular number. It's about keeping good form and then pushing the muscle to where it's tired. So from here, elbows are going to keep tucked in, hands at the elbow width, and bringing the weights down to your chest. We're gonna do this together. So chest out and down and back. So when you come back up, try not lock your elbows, so that way you're keeping tension on the muscle the whole time. Keeping those hands wide. You can twist your hands just a little bit at the bottom if you like, if that's comfortable. I like a little bit of a twist down there, because that takes a tiny bit of that pressure off the pec. Because I find for me, I don't quite have the ability to keep my hands straight. It's not comfortable for my shoulder. Remember, not for a specific number, but trying to go to where you feel that tiredness in your muscle. You can see I'm starting to slow down. That's my sign that that's it. That's where that muscle needs to stop. All right, so go ahead and stand back up. Now we're gonna go into our standing supported row. So we just worked the front and the chest. Now we're gonna work the upper back. So I like to use the same weight for both sides. So I've got a 40-pound dumbbell here. You might need to experiment a little bit with a heavier or lighter dumbbell. So one hand on the wall, other hand hanging down, and then pulling up to your rib cage. Trying to really get as vertical or as horizontal as you can, so you're parallel with the ground. I like to start with my non-dominant hand. So I'm starting with my left hand, and then I'll move to my dominant hand, which is my right. My hands are fairly even. I'm actually relatively ambidextrous, but I do find my right is a little bit stronger. Now on this one, you want to let your hand drop all the way back to the ground. And because that's where you get that stretch. That stretch is where you're gonna build that muscle mass. So one hand on the wall or on a post, letting your arm hang down towards the ground, and then pulling up to your rib cage. This is that supported standing row. So just like you're rowing a boat, pulling up and then back. You can see my hand is not is not pointed up or sideways like this. I'm sort of right in between, just in a natural position for my hand. I did about the same number on both sides. I do try and count when I'm doing one side or the other. I might have to start counting out loud here actually, because I'm not so good at counting in my head. As funny as that sounds, it's just not a skill I really have well. Get too distracted. There we go. All right. And we're gonna go back to bench press. So when we do these exercises in pairs, we're doing multiple sets of them. So what that's gonna, hey, you guys can't really see me right here, huh? There. This camera is a little bit low. So we're gonna do these in multiple sets. So we do one exercise, then exercise 2, then back to 1 again, and do that a couple times over. I would recommend at least 3 times if you're able to. If you feel tired, need to stop, that's okay. Work your way up, try and work your way up though to that. Maybe the first week you do 1 set, second week, try another set, see how it feels. All right, getting back into it. Sorry, give me 1 quick second. Okay, get the weights. And trick I like with this one, you rest the weights on your knees, and then when you're ready to go, you push up with your knees to get the weights into position. From here, chest out, arms out in front of your shoulders, hands in line with your elbows. And keeping that hands in line with your elbows position. So I'm not letting my hands tuck in, I'm keeping them wide. You're gonna bring your dumbbells down to the inner part of your chest, or the inner part of the dumbbell to your chest, I should say. And then out towards the front. Not completely locking out your elbows. That way you keep tension on that chest muscle. Remember, the rep number doesn't matter too much. Just go to where you feel tired. You should start to see the dumbbell slow down and relax. All right. Now to a standing row. Whew. Actually, I'm gonna take just a quick second before I go to the second exercise. I'm a little more tired today. My heart rate's going a little fast. Some days are like that, even especially on a Monday, depending on how your weekend went. Like some days, maybe you just didn't sleep as well. I know for me, that's a big one. Some days I feel like, man, it's so much harder to do the same exercise. And almost always it's because I did not sleep the night before nearly as well as I normally do. So don't beat yourself up if you have a down day, or if you feel like it's not pushing as much as you can, or you think, oh man, used to be able to do this, why can't I anymore? Why can't I do it today? That does happen. It's about how are you doing over the weeks and months, not the day to day. So pushing as hard as you can, that's all you can ask for. Whew. All right, so set number 2, we're doing a supported row. So you're gonna put your hand against a wall, or a post like this is fine, but you could also do it like this, sort of against a wall. But I'm not gonna do that because then I've got my back turned to you guys. Letting the arm hang, And I'm gonna count out loud on this one because I do lose count. I wanna make sure it's even on both sides. So letting the arm hang, pulling up to your rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I'm gonna stop at 13. All right, and then 13 on the other side too. So no matter what rep you got to, even if you did 5 on one side, 5 on the other, it's totally fine. I try and get to at least 5 though. 2, if you didn't get to 5, 3, try and make the weight a little bit lighter. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. You should be feeling that in your upper back. So with that standing row, we're working the muscles in the lats from here, and then the traps, which are in the upper back up here, and then some of the bicep, which is the muscle in the upper arm. Whew. So if you're just joining us, we're doing dumbbell exercises. We're gonna start with the chest and back, and then move on to the lower body and the legs next. So I'd love for you guys to do this with me. I wanna work out together. And help people get started on their resistance journey, or keep going with it so we can all support and encourage one another. So if you're looking to get healthier, stronger, more muscle mass, build up that physique, whatever your goal is for 2025, I'm here to invite you into my gym, and let's get fit together. You know, I'm breathing a little hard. These are big muscle groups that we're working out today. So this is set number 3, which, if you're new to that terminology, that just means it's the 3rd time we've done this exercise. When we repeat the exercise, we build up more strength and more muscle mass. So grabbing onto your dumbbells and having a seat on the bench, this is going to be a dumbbell bench press. I like to rest the dumbbells on my knees and then kick them up when I'm ready. So I kick with my knees and get into position. So hands right over the top of the shoulders, dropping those weights, the inner parts of the weights to your chest, and then back out, keeping those hands wide. Now, not bouncing in the bottom where I go down and start bouncing and spring back. I'm going down, controlled, and then back up. And last one. I am really feeling that one today. Whew. I don't know about you guys, but today is a little more tiring for me. So I'm going to stop at 3 sets. Normally, I try and get between 3 and 5 sets of any exercise. So today we're going to be doing 3 because I can really feel the fatigue in my muscles today. So grabbing one dumbbell, starting with your non-dominant side, you're gonna, so you take your dominant hand, put it against a wall, and then bring your hips back, laying your upper body, just hang straight to the ground. From here, you're gonna pull up to your rib cage. This is a standing supported row. So this hand is supporting me against that wall, taking all the pressure off my low back. Still wanna keep my back straight as I can, but this hand helps support me. And from here, you're gonna pull up to your rib cage. This is working the upper back, those lat muscles and traps, along with your bicep. Working one side at a time. Try and keep count of how many you did so you can repeat it on your other side. 10, 11, 12, and 13. And I'm gonna try and get 13 on the other side as well. So same setup, using your hand to support, letting the other hand hang down, trying to keep your back straight and parallel to the ground. Pulling up to your shoulder or up to your rib cage, working those muscles in your upper back. 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to get to 13 on this side too. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right. So that was our 3 sets of chest and back, working the pectoral muscles right here. So dumbbell bench press works the pecs and the tricep, and then the standing supported row works the lats, the traps, and the bicep. And so we worked one side and then the other side. That's what's called a superset. So one side's recovering, the other side is working. All right. Now, if you're sweating a little bit right now, a little red in the face, totally normal. That means you're doing something right. So if you're just joining us, today we're working on a full body dumbbell exercise list. We just started with the chest and back. Now we're gonna be going to the legs. So we're gonna be working the quads in the front, hamstrings in the back, along with the glutes. So for this, I like to start with no weights for the warm up. Just get the form down. So we're gonna do squats and stiff-legged deadlift are our 2 exercises for legs. That gets us both that knee bend exercise and the hip hinge exercise for those glutes. So for squats, you're gonna have your feet about shoulder width or a little wider, and then your toes angled ever so slightly out. You can go to where you're, here, I'll show you this way. So toes slightly angled out, you can go where it's a little wider, whatever feels comfortable for your knees. As you bend with your knees, they should go in the same direction as your toes. So if your toes are in and your knees are going out, that's not good for your knees or any of your joints really. So you want to go to where your toes are going in the same direction, your knees are bending. So take a couple tries to figure out where that position's gonna be. So you're gonna bend down, come back up, and then you might need to adjust your toes a little bit. We're gonna be doing this with dumbbells. So take 5 to 10 reps, get that position comfortable. Now I wanna keep my back straight as I'm doing this. So see how my hips go to the back. So I have a straight line from my head through my hips. Don't want to see any of this movement, okay? So that's what's gonna protect your low back as you squat. So now, I'm gonna grab some dumbbells. For me, I found doing this, kind of resting them on my shoulder, really is the most comfortable position. That way, when I squat down, the dumbbells aren't digging into my neck. They're just resting gently on the top of my shoulder. I'm not having to hold them in some weird position. So feet about shoulder width apart. I'm gonna go for about 10 of these, doing squats. This is working those quads, which run along the front of your thigh to your knee. So, keeping your heels on the ground, bending your knees, going down, and then back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. And now we're gonna do a stiff-legged deadlift. So for this one, actually, I'm gonna show it this way. What I would do is stand in front of a wall with about a foot behind you. So you're not right against the wall, you're a little ways away from it. And from here, you're gonna keep your back straight. You're gonna push your hips out to the back, trying to push your hips into that wall. Keeping your knees straight and your back straight. Working the muscles in the back of the thigh with this. So pushing back, touch the wall, and then back up. Now, if you wanna make it harder, step a little bit further away from the wall, so you have to push back. So play around with it. Go to where you can tap the wall with your hips, and then come back up. Going for about 10 of these as well. I'm just letting my arms hang, creating the resistance. Really pushing those hips back to the wall, trying to get it even so both sides of your hips touch the wall. And relax. Take a minute, grab a drink. My heart's going. Is yours guys going? Those leg exercises always are a little harder. Breathing a little more heavy. So, we're working on legs. Legs take a lot of energy. So we take a little bit of time between doing our legs sets to let your body recover. So we don't want your cardiovascular to be the limiting factor. We want the leg muscles to be the limiter on this. Just take a couple minutes, let your heart rate drop back down. It's actually pretty warm in here because I'm under lights. So if I seem a little red, it's pretty hot. So, but that's good. That I'm working hard. Hopefully you're working out with me. So if you're just joining us, this is a follow along workout routine using just dumbbells. So we're doing legs right now, working the quad muscles, which run right up here, the hamstring muscles, which run in the back of the thigh, and the glutes, which run across the back of the hip. So thank you for being here. I really would encourage you to go ahead, even if it feels like this is hard, or if you're not quite perfect, just go ahead and start anyway. I'm certainly not perfect. You guys can see I'm breathing heavy here too. It means I'm pushing my body. That means I'm working at improving. So I'd encourage you, even if you feel like it's difficult, go ahead and start. Even if you have lighter weights, no weights yet, try these movements, try and get started. So we're gonna go into set number 2 of this exercise, starting with a squat. So grabbing onto your dumbbells, and I like to prop them up on my shoulders. I'll show you from a side view on this one. So I'm keeping my back flat, bending my knees down to the ground. I'm trying to get as low to the ground as I can, and then come back up. So going down and back, trying to keep my back straight all the way through the movement. Let's keep on going together. 3, 4, I'm aiming for 10 of these. 5, 6, 7, 8. You can't get all the way to the ground. 9, just get as low as you can. And 10. Whew. And let me show you from this angle for this next one. Now we're doing a stiff-legged deadlift. So stand in front of a wall, feet about shoulder width apart, dumbbells in front of your thigh. From here, you're going to bend to the front, tapping your hips against the wall. You need to adjust closer or further away from the wall. So go on pushing your hips back to the wall. Try and hit both sides of your hips. It's that hip hinge. You should really feel it in the back of your thigh and back of your hips. Now I'm keeping my knees straight as I do this. That keeps that tension on the hamstrings. 4 more, 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Last one, and up. And grab a quick drink of water or take a moment to catch your breath. Whew. Oh, my heart's really going. Now, if you have any questions or if something doesn't quite make sense, let me know in the chat or in the comments. Or if you like this exercise, try it out and it works well for you, let me know. All right. Whew. Is anyone else sweating at this point? It's definitely warmer today, or maybe it's more humid. I feel like it's a lot hotter. I'm just waiting for my heart rate to come back down. It's always harder when it's warmer or more humid. Your heart rate will go up faster because your body's trying to stay cool. You're circulating more blood to your skin to cool off. That's why you turn red, because your body is trying to manage that temperature. There's a concept called cardiac drift, which is the longer you work out, the higher your heart rate gets, because more and more heat accumulates, and it has to go somewhere. So your body has to radiate it out. So for me, the difference between set 2 and 3 usually takes longer between, because I'm fatiguing out faster. So we're just about to go into set number 3 of legs and hips with dumbbells. So working those large leg muscles, especially in the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. I'm just waiting for that heart rate to drop back down. If you guys can, I'd recommend getting a heart rate monitor as you for working out. Doesn't have to be a really fancy one, just something to know how high your heart is going. Because sometimes you can have a high heart rate where you go to do an exercise and what's fatiguing is actually your heart, not your muscle. So that's why I like to give myself a little bit of time between sets to let that heart rate drop back down so I can really be challenging that muscle, not my cardiovascular or my breathing. Oh, okay. So this is set number 3 of legs. After this, we're going to be doing some shoulder exercises. So grabbing your dumbbells, we're going to start with a squat. And let me show this angle for squat. So feet about shoulder width or a little wider is fine. Toes slightly angled out, whatever feels comfortable. Your toes should go in the same direction as your knees. So from here, bending the knees, going down as low as you can. So going down, keeping that back straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going for 10 of these. 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9. Last one. And 10. And relax. Whew. I'm gonna set the dumbbells down for just a second. Just a moment, and then I'm gonna go back into it. I'm starting to feel a little dizzy, so taking a second. It's important to breathe as you do these. You don't want to hold your breath as you're working out, because that can spike your blood pressure temporarily. And we don't want that. So, last exercise for the legs. I'm gonna do a stiff-legged deadlift. So, hands in front of your thighs, standing in front of a wall, keeping your back straight and your knees straight. Bending down to the front, pushing your hips out to the back, tap the wall, and then come back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Working those hamstrings. 6, this is great for hamstring flexibility as well. 7, because you're stretching them as you strengthen them. 8, 9, 10, and relax. All right, so we just did legs. Now we're gonna do some shoulder exercises. So the big muscle in the shoulder that we're working is the deltoid muscle. Runs right along the top of the ball of your shoulder. So this one's a little tricky. A lot of people do lateral raises, and those are actually not very effective for targeting your deltoid, because down in this range, where the muscle is most benefited, there's almost no resistance. So what we're gonna do is change up the movement a little bit. So our last exercise, I'd grab a light dumbbell. It's a small muscle in everybody. Even if you're a bodybuilder, huge shoulders, this is still a much smaller muscle than the chest and the back. So I'm using a much lighter dumbbell. What you're gonna do is put your dumbbell in your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, put it in your left hand first. We're gonna work one side at a time. You're gonna lean on your, if you've got the dumbbell in your left hand, on your right shoulder. So I know this looks like my left, but so opposite side. And then from here, you're gonna lift up to the side. Now what that does is it gives a little more gravity to the weight down at this bottom range. You should still feel tension on the muscle down here. Hang on one second. Sorry, technical issues with chat. Give me a moment. So find a weight that works well for you. and leaning away from that side, lifting up to the side. Now, you want to be able to lift at least 5. My thumb points to the front as I do this, so don't let your thumb come up or down. You want to go straight towards the front. I'm aiming for about 10 of these. Just one more. I can feel it burning on that side. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. However many I got, I'm going to try and match it on my dominant arm. And this is working that deltoid. You should feel that right around your shoulder. And relax. Now, for this one, as you lift, I'll show you without the dumbbell, that's too hard. Up to the side, if you get to about here, you need to stop, that's okay. If you get a little higher, what that's doing is working the traps up here in your neck, which is totally fine as long as it's comfortable for you. If you have any sort of tingling feeling in your neck though, just go as high as your shoulder. Or if you feel numb down in your hand, just go to here and then come back down. Because that's what's really gonna hit that deltoid. If you can go higher and want to, feel free. It just is gonna work that neck muscle a little bit more, that upper trap. All right, so that was for the deltoid. Now we're gonna work the muscles in the back of the shoulder, so this posterior deltoid and these muscles between the shoulder blades. So grab a second dumbbell. What we're gonna do is called a face pull. So what I would do is put your back, your hips against a wall. So like this, I'll show you from the front. And then from here, you're gonna lean forward and let your arms hang. This is our starting position. Now from here, you're gonna try and bring your thumbs up to your ears and then back down. So we're up, see how the dumbbells twist up? I'll show you like this, so back straight, thumbs up to the ears and then back, like you're throwing something behind you. So we're gonna do 10 of those, or I would recommend trying to get a little higher reps, so try and aim for 10. If you need to, go for a lighter dumbbell. This is a pretty small muscle doing this movement, a small but important one. So if you can't get to 10, that's okay. Just do what you can. Pulling up to your ears and then back to a hang. This is a face pull exercise. Three more. You should feel that in the back of your shoulders. And relax. So this is that rotator cuff exercise and a posterior deltoid or rear deltoid. So that part of the deltoid that's in the back, right back in here, it's gonna hit that right in there. First one we did was more middle deltoid. This one's more in the back here. Wish I had a mannequin or something to show you. It's a little easier than trying to reach around the back of my shoulder. So our 3 pieces of that muscle. We work the front 2, and then there's this back one back here that we're hitting with that face pull. So if you're just joining us, we're working shoulders using just dumbbells. So if you're just starting out, only have a set of dumbbells, or if you've been doing this for a while but have dumbbells available, all these exercises are doable with just a little bit of weight. Grabbing a quick drink of water, excuse me. I like these though because no matter where you are, whether you're just starting out or just have been doing this for a while, These are still effective exercises. You just want to do as many reps as is going to cause fatigue in that muscle. So that's where you really are gaining that strength. Don't feel like, oh man, I can only do 5. That means you got to the point you needed to in only 5 reps. That's great. Like for me, some of these exercises, I get to 10 and I'm feeling tired. That's good. That means I'm growing. That means I'm getting stronger. And that's how we grow, is by pushing ourselves. So we're gonna go into set number 2. And those multiple sets means we're pushing ourselves a little bit harder and harder, where it's like investing. You're adding more to that investment by adding more sets. So it compounds faster. Right, that builds up that muscle faster. Whew. So starting with your non-dominant side, leaning away from your shoulder. We're gonna work this muscle right here, that deltoid muscle. So this is a leaning lateral raise, and that's gonna get a better movement for targeting that deltoid muscle. So from here, lifting up to the side, try and keep your thumb pointed straight towards the front. Going for about 10 reps, lifting as high as is comfortable on your shoulder, dropping down slowly. Don't let it just fall to your side. Four more reps. That's number 7. 8, 9, and 10. And same thing on the other side. You should feel that burning in your shoulder. So leaning away, trying to lift 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, lifting straight out to the side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, two more, 9, and 10. Oh gosh, should be really feeling it by that 10th one. Now if you need to stop before that, that's okay. Just do what you can. And if you need to only do 2 sets or only 1 set, you feel like my muscle is so tired, I need to be done there, that is okay. Come back next time. So I'm gonna be meeting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at about 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time to do these live streams. I'm here working out with you if you guys want to take advantage of that. Or if you want to watch this later, hope it helps you in your workout to be equipped to get the muscles you want, build up that strength, to stay happy and healthy. So that's what I want, is to try and encourage people to be healthy. And if you need someone to help you do that, to be a friend working here with you, I'm here for you. So any questions, let me know in the chat or the comments. It looks like something's going on with chat right now. I'm not sure quite why. Today we're just having a lot of technical issues. So I'll have to come back to that. Maybe if I can refresh real quick. There we go. Okay, Lars Rasputin says, thanks, this was great. Thank you for being here, Lars. Lars Ray Jepisen. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Thanks for being here. So this is set number 3. This is set number 2. We need to do a face pull. So this is working the muscles in the back of your shoulder, in your shoulder blade. So working that upper shoulder and back, and a little bit of the back, but mostly that shoulder. So putting your hips against the wall. I'll show you this way this time. So hips against the wall, leaning forward, letting your arms hang. From here, we're doing a W shape with your hands. So bring your hands up to your ears and then back. So trying for about 10 of these. Now try and keep your chest forward so you're not standing up to create that movement. It's all from the shoulder. 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. That was set number 2. So last set, doing a side deltoid or a side lateral raise with a lean. So that's going to more effectively target that deltoid muscle, the one that runs right across here. So I'm going to start with my non-dominant hand, leaning away from that side, and then lifting up to the side, trying to keep your thumb pointed to the front. Doing about 10 of these if you can. So you want to go a light enough weight where you can get through 10. The number is not hugely important. I just want you guys to have good control over the movement, so not going too heavy is all I mean. 3 more. 8, 9, oh gosh. And 10. Oh my gosh. That 10th one really burned. All right, same thing on the other side. We're almost done. Last set. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the chat or the comments. Or if you have a way that you do this exercise a little differently, let me know. Love to hear the variations people come up with for this. Some people actually do this on incline bench instead. That works totally fine too. There's a lot of different ways to do the same muscle, and a lot of them work equally well. So it is finding what works for you. 3 more. 9. And last one. 10. And relax. Oh, are your guys' shoulders burning? Mine are burning. That just means it's working though, that's good. Part of that burning feeling is what's called lactic acid building up in the muscle. And that's a good thing that actually is helping cause muscle growth too. So muscle tension helps promote muscle growth. Helps promote muscle growth. We're about that point in the exercise where it's a little hard to talk. And then lactic acid in the muscle helps promote muscle growth as well. So now we're gonna finish out with a face pull. So putting your hips against a wall or something sturdy, leaning to the front, letting your arms hang, then bringing your hands up towards your ears, pulling up to the back. 1, 2, 3. You can see how I'm keeping my elbows tucked in. 4, 5, 6, pinching my shoulders together. 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. I'm trying to let my hands come all the way back down to straight as well. All right. So if you like this content and want to see more, I host these live streams at 11 o'clock Pacific time on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you're looking for a workout friend, someone to help you along, someone to guide you through it, or just people to hang out with, I'd love to see you guys there. So hope to see you guys next time. Have a good workout, stay happy and healthy. Take care.